Hello BSCFT. Today's topic is processing and utilization of rubber. Botanical name or scientific name is Hevia brasiliensis because it is a plant which is native of Brazil. Its botanical name has Brazil in it. Now the family is Euphorbiaceae. Natural rubber is found in the litter of plants of over 895 species belonging to 31 genera of the families. So natural rubber plant has n number of species and varieties. So, some important varieties are Sierra rubber, Indian rubber, Panama rubber, and Gualul, and the Para rubber from Brazil. Hevia is the most important commercial source of natural rubber. As we know, it is the native of Brazil. Uh, from Brazil, it moved on to Asia in 1876. It reached Sri Lanka, and after that India. Then Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and South Africa are the main rubber producing countries. 7 to 8% produce harvested from rubber plantation is in the form of latex. Now you can clear it that it is not later, it is latex. That is LATEX. The watery fluid which is procured from the rubber plant is known as latex. So it is not later, it is latex. 7 to 8% produce harvested from rubber plantation is in the form of latex. The remaining portion is collected in coagulated forms collectively known as scrap rubber. Now, what is the scrap rubber? Scrap rubber is the recycled rubber, means the plastic or rubbery products like tire are coagulated and mixed with the fresh latex product, and they are made into new products. So the recycled part of the rubber products is known as scrap rubber. Latex, here also later is written, but it is latex. Latex is a milky white dispersion of or liquid of rubber in water which is harvested by a procedure called tapping and aping. Aping is the periodic removal of thin slices of bark to extract rubber latex. Not later, it is latex. So first we will move to see a picture so that how latex is procured from tapping is clear to you all. Now, as we can see that this is tapping. As you can see here, the lined groove is here, from which the rubbery latex is running towards vessel, and this process of extraction of latex is known as tapping. And what is aping? To clear the path is known as aping. Now, moving towards the procedure. Now we know what is tapping and what is aping. Latex vessels are arranged in a series of concentric rings of interconnecting vessels in soft layers of bark, as you have seen in the picture. So actually the tree of rubber has height. As you can see, this is the tree plantation. So it's like that, one vessel will be here and one vessel will be here and one vessel will be here. It's like that. Now so series of concentric rings that are made by removing some part of thin slice of bark, and then while tapping, cambium should not be damaged, as otherwise callus formation will take place, causing swelling. Now what is cambium? We can see this cambium. So this is the picture of trunk of rubber tree. As you can see, the outer part is bark and the inner lining is cambium. So bark, the thin layer of bark is removed to procure the rubber latex, and this cambium should not be damaged, because from this cambium the latex is procured. Now if it is not done properly, then callus formation. What is callus? Now we can understand this, that if a plant is wounded, then it will work towards the damage control, and leading to the damage control, the callus or the swelling of cells will be there to control or the damaged part, or to cover the damaged part, so that it can be not damaged by the outside environment. So callus will refrain the coming out of latex. Now after 7 years of planting, generally rubber tree attains tappable stage. So there are types of tapping here. Then latex. Now this is latex, is generally sterile but gets contaminated during tapping, like milk. It is sterile with the cow or the buffalo, but during milking it can get contaminated. So but this contamination can lead to premature coagulation, because the nature of latex is like that it coagulates very fast. So it can get dried up on tapping. So the recovery or procurement of all the latex from the tree can be barred. Then coagulation cups have that sedimentation or scrap under it, so it can reduce the quality. Then coagulation can be done. So on field it is very necessary to take some precaution to avoid coagulation. Latex is a slightly yellowish liquid with special gravity of 0.974 to 0.986. It has lyophilic colloidal system. Lyophilic means the water loving colloidal system of spherical or pear shaped rubber globules suspended in an aqueous serum. So the colloidal system, this latex has colloidal system which has two parts: rubber globules, pear shaped rubber globules, and the aqueous serum. Now the composition of latex: rubber 30 to 40%, protein 2 to 2.5%, resins 1 to 2%, sugar 1 to 1.5%, water 55 to 60%. So fresh latex is slightly alkaline or neutral, but it is prone to become acidic due to bacterial action. Preservation can be done by addition of anticoagulants at the field like ammonia, formalin. Here also spelling is incorrect. This is formalin, N in the end, not R. Then sodium sulfate. So as anticoagulant, these things are used, these chemicals are used. Now these chemicals also prevent bacterial action, stabilizes the dispersion. Then these are the list of combination of chemicals which is used as preservative in latex. So after use of preservative, it is termed as preserved field latex. Now there are some marketable forms of natural rubber. First is ribbed smoked sheets, that is RSS. It is abbreviation is RSS. Then second is crepe rubber. Third is preserved latex and alpha concentrates. Then block rubber or gum rubber. Now first thing first, what is ribbed smoke sheet? Ribbed smoke sheets are nothing. They are processed through smoking. So smoked word is there. Now ribbing is the pattern of hanging. You can see like hanging pattern like the wardrobe in our almirah. So this pattern is known as ribbing. So smoking is done in the process. Smoke word is there. So ribbed smoked sheets, and these are sheets of rubber. Now we were discussing about different types of marketable forms of natural rubber. Now after preservation, the controlled coagulation process is done only into block and crepe rubber, where latex can be processed into any of the marketable form. Now latex concentrates produced by creaming and centrifugation. There are two patterns from coagulation process: controlled coagulation or separation process of latex is done. First is creaming and second is centrifugation. What we have to separate, as we have studied in the first part, that there are two parts of the latex. First is pear shaped globules, rubber globules, and second is the serum. So these are the parts which have to be separated. So creaming agent is used 0.2 to 0.3%, and this allows to separate latex into two layers. Upper layer with concentrated latex, that is the pear shaped rubber globule, and lower is the lower layer with little rubbery skin. And centrifugation can be done to separate, as we know. Centrifugation can be done on the basis of density. So uh, the watery part is known as skim fraction, like skimmed milk without fat, skim fraction, and concentrated latex. So then these skim fraction is coagulated with sulfuric acid, creeped, dried and marketed as skim rubber, and concentrated latex can be sold like intermediate product. Now the ribbed smoke sheet. It is made of oldest method. Latex is coagulated in suitable container into thin slabs of coagulation are sheeted through a set of smooth rollers followed by grooved set and then dried into obtain RSS. So drying method can be of two types, the shade drying or air drying, not RSS. This is first is shade drying and second is air drying. So 67% of the natural rubber is produced in India in the form of RSS. So simple. First is collection through tapping, then anticoagulation or preservation, then bulking, then dilution or sedimentation is done to remove finer impurities, then chemical addition to improve the quality of sheet and to prevent blackening, then control coagulation through formic acid or acetic acid, and then after that the separation is done and sheeting and dripping of two parts of RSS is done. Now moving towards the sheeting. It can be done by smooth rollers to thickness of 3 mm and finally passed through grooved roller. And mold growth can be prevented by using paranitrophenol 0.05 to 0.1%. Then dripping is done. When wet sheets are allowed to drip on, reappears arranged in dripping shed, well ventilated. So after rolling, for dripping, water amount of moisture is used because sheeting can enhance the dripping of moisture from the sheets. Then shade drying is done. Sunlight can develop stickiness. Then smoking is done into dripping shades, and then 40 to 60 degrees Celsius smoking is given by wood smoke, and gradual drying will avoid development of blister, the air incorporation in between the skin of rubber sheets, which can be a defect. Then 4 days of smoking under normal condition and 5 to 6 days of smoking is done in rainy season. Now air dried sheets are prepared in this way. Now the crepe rubber. Then now the collection through tapping, then sieving, then bulking and dilution, then these are the standard drying, not the dye station. This is drying, standard drying. Then addition of chemicals, then creping is done, then drying and making in the form of ball and packing. So this is like that, and then this can be converted into blocks. Balls are converted into blocks. Then plasticizing can be done in advanced processes. Same, we are seeing the same process, only hammer mill granulator is there. For advanced processing, interplasticizing or to make it a better product to support the molding. So plasticizing is done. So this is the total procedure. Now you can see the pictures, like tapping is there, the rubber plantation is there, and this is vulcanized rubber is there. Now what is vulcanization is the curing of rubber or processing of rubber, which is done by chemicals, use of chemicals and heat, and it gives rubber useful property, strength and stability, and so it is dependent on the need. Now these are the coagulated mixed field coagula is there. You can see how the raw coagulated lump of rubber looks like. This is the rubber coagula also. So then now the after using the chemicals, sheeting is done. So this is the picture of rubber factory, and this is ribbed smoked sheets. I think it is clear, and you can prepare notes, handwritten notes on the basis of this particular lecture.